they're now working on a 5-point plan. A 5-point plan, which is basically to focus on stopping smoking, stopping obesity, stopping alcohol, stopping inactivity, and giving clean air, basically. Now, those 5 points, I mean, they're just insane, aren't they? That they're obsessed with controlling us, aren't they? So the first 5 points: smoking, obesity, alcohol, inactivity. Those are my few pleasures. Those are the few pleasures that people have in life. I don't smoke, but those are the few pleasures you have in life, aren't they? The few pleasures you have is having a drink, eating more than you need to eat. Not go and doing exercise, basically. But they're just. Why can't they just leave us alone? Why do they have to do this to us, to the working, and I won't say working class, just say the working man. Because again, Starmer can't define what working class is, by the way. I don't know if you saw that clip either.
No.
Somebody asked him, what's working class? And he couldn't actually answer the question. No. He said it's somebody, I tell you who it was, it's Nick Ferrari. Look it up if you can, it's really interesting. He said, could you tell me what working, this is before he became Prime Minister. And he said, it's somebody who leaves the house every day and goes out to work and comes back. And he said, well, middle class people do that, don't they? And he couldn't actually define working class, even though he's always droning on about them. However,
you think if anybody could define working class, it should be the Labour Prime Minister.
Yes.
I mean, it's a hard question to answer.
It is a hard question.
It's complicated.
I personally don't believe it exists anymore. Working class.
But you think if anyone had an answer, it'd be a Labour Prime Minister.
Yeah, exactly. And the son of a toolmaker.
Yes.
So Andrew Ferrari asked him this, and he said, "Oh, well, blah blah blah. It's people who go out." But however, the point I was making, and I don't like to use the word working class. I say the working man.
Yeah.
Those 5 things are targeting working men, aren't they? The things that working men have as a pleasure after a day of working, after a hard week. I mean, I drink on a Friday. Tend to start drinking on a Friday and drink on a Saturday and Sunday. I won't drink during the week. But I look forward to my beer on a Friday night. And I'm sure smokers look forward to their smoke when they're finishing work. People like to go out, have a curry, eat food. People also like to sit down and relax
and
do nothing as well.
And people like to use their cars and do it to the air.
Yeah, exactly. So why are they obsessed with destroying us like this?
This is not about destroying us. This is about control. So it's very hard to introduce tyranny through the front door because we see it coming and we'll push back. So the best way to introduce tyranny and take control of a nation is to say to a nation, I'm doing these things for your safety. That's how you introduce tyranny into a society. All those things, they will say, we're doing this for your safety. We're trying to give you better health. That's why we're trying to reduce alcohol and smoking and increase exercise and reduce pollution. We're doing this for you. We have to take away a few of your rights for that, but the benefit is you'll live longer and you'll be taken care of better. And for a lot of people, that's quite an attractive proposition. That's what the government did over COVID. COVID's going to kill you, but we're going to save you by taking away some of your rights. And that's what every dictator always does. It's also why every dictator in the world is always at war with someone, because there always has to be someone to be perceived to be bigger and badder than them, so the public won't turn on them. I'm saving you from that dictator. I know I'm a dictator, but I'm here to save you from them. And that's what this is. It's about gaining power and control over the populace. It's about tyranny, and they do it through, we're here to save you and protect you.
And I think you're spot on that, because I think he also has said, I don't know whether this was at the UN, in fact it won't be the UN because he wasn't talking about, he also said that the state will take more control in people's lives.
That was his speech at the party conference.
Oh, that was his speech at the party conference, you're right. So he's actually explicitly stated it. The state will take more control of people's lives. So they're not hiding it.
That's some scary shit, that. Politicians saying we're going to take more control of your lives. It should be the complete opposite of that mantra.
Correct.
It should be, we're going to give you more and more responsibility over your own lives. don't mess it up. That should be the mantra from the government.
Yeah.
Not, we're going to take control of your lives. How dare them?
But if he is this character, you can actually understand. You can imagine him fuming, can't you, sitting at home. We've seen the reaction to the Beth Rigby interview. How dare you ask me questions like that? And then all these little grubby people, because these working class people, even though he doesn't know, can't define working class, are saying all these terrible things about me, you know, calling me a shirt lifter and all that sort of stuff, and it's not true. I need to get those people under control. You can imagine him almost saying that, can't you? And he's in this position of power, and they voted me in. You know, look at the numbers. I've got a majority of 70 MPs. So, yes, I am going to take control of these awful, nasty little people, these right-wing thugs that are doing this. That must be what I think he's thinking that.
There's two things he could be thinking there. The first thing is that, and that's because if he's a narcissist, how dare you think these things, say these things, I'm in control now, it's all about me. On the flip side of that, and I'm sure it's partly that, but on the flip side of that, it's also, I know best. You know, I'm doing these things for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm doing these for the right reasons, because if I can run your life for you, honestly, you will live longer.
Yeah.
If I can reduce your alcohol intake, your smoking, clean up the air, you'll live longer. You'll thank me later. I'm going to create a utopia. Life can be better than what it is now. All you've got to do is trust me and give me the power and let me remove some of your rights, because if I can do that, the benefits will be better for all of us.
Yeah.
And I'm sure many politicians believe that. I'm sure Hitler believed that.
Yeah.
And he may be sincere. He may be able to achieve his aim. Let's give him some credit. Let's say he can make the world, the country better if we give him more power and take away some of the rights. Let's say that's true. Who comes after him?
Yeah.
That's always a scary bit. Who comes after him? Who now has all the power and we have less rights. Who comes after him? And I don't want to take that chance.
Yeah.
We should never take the chance of who comes down the path next.
Yes. Because even though he might be benevolent in his management of that, the next person might not be.
Exactly.
And I think that's already happening, isn't it? We're already starting to see some of the, with the arrest of the so-called right-wing thugs, the political prisoners I talk about. Aren't we already seeing that?
Yeah.
Where laws are being used or put in place for what they thought were the right reason. I don't know whether, but they're actually being exploited and abused now to arrest people for tweets and things like that. That's part of it, isn't it?
Been going on for decades.
Yeah.
Been going on for decades. Very slowly, very behind the scenes. We introduced a law to tackle terrorism. Police use that law now to stop anybody they don't like.
Yeah.
It was created to stop terrorists, Al-Qaeda blowing stuff up, the IRA. And they use it now to stop people in the street when there's no suspicion they're a terrorist. They stopped a demonstration going to London. I can't remember what the demonstration was now. They stopped the coach, impounded the coach and everybody off it under Terrorism Acts. Because once you give the state more and more power, people will use those powers in ways you cannot foresee. And we keep making the mistake all the time. And the amount of laws we have on the books now is tremendous.
Yeah.
We need a government who says, every new law we pass, we remove 3 laws off the books.
Yeah.
That's the sort of government we need.
I mean, I would hope that if reform eventually gets in, which I think they will do, that they start to get rid of all these grotty laws, hate laws and all that sort of stuff. I just hope they get rid of them.
Did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers. I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.